My name is Carys Broome and I am playing the character of Charlotte in the Molly Downer musical. We are on a journey to find the real places and people who feature in our musical and maybe get a glimpse into their lives. Molly Downer is a well-known story from the Isle of Wight. She is sometimes called the last island witch. The first ever written account is by Mr. E. Hartnell. It was his account that started us on our journey. So please come with me as we join some of the cast and travel the island as we search for the reality behind the fiction of Molly Downer. We are starting at the beginning. We are here in Niton, where the father of Molly lived. The Reverend Barwis had an affair with Molly's mother. The Reverend was descended from smugglers and cutthroats. His family made their money from their criminal activities. The Barwis family had tried to buy their way into legitimacy. To them, having a priest in the family must have seemed like they were on their way to leaving their less than legal heritage behind. We are at Parish Churchyard in Niton at John the Baptist's church, and this is the memorial for Molly's father, who is John Barwis. So over here is the list of priests at the church, and he is here in 1786. We made our way to where our director's family saw their Downer house was situated. There is of course no remains or even any attested reference to where the house may have been. It was reported in later accounts that she might have lived in a house called Witch's Hatch, which is more than likely completely apocryphal. It feels like a name given after the events that led to the priest in charge at Bembridge having the house burnt to the ground. Hartnell described her home. Her domicile was a ruinous cottage standing isolated in a garden.
Well, we believe this was the sort of the area of where Molly's house would have been. Going by the pictures, we've worked out within this sort of perimeter from the tree to the top of that church would have been somewhere here. So we're hoping it is here. Yes. But there's nothing left. Just a lot of holes.
In search of Molly Downer's home we roam, lost in time, its memory we must comb, through the tales and whispers ancient as the loam. Burnt down in ignorance, its fate unknown, yet still our hearts with hope are brightly sown. We'll find her dwelling even if overgrown. The story of Jane and Dickie are woven into our tale of Molly. Hartnell hinted that Molly had a relationship with another woman. She had one female friend to whom she was a long time inseparably attached, but whom unfortunately became one of those who loved the lords of others. We have no other references to her, but for us, this one line was key, and so the great love affair of our story grew. Jane's story was one of hardship, and one that was lovely to touch on in the context of our musical.
We're in St Helens, and behind us is my house, Jane, in the play. As you can see, it's still standing, unlike Molly's. And yeah, it's nice to actually physically see a building.
So it's really interesting when people are brought up in the same village they're born in, or they live in the same house their entire life. Like, that's not a very done thing anymore. We move around more as humans, but back then it was just you're born here and you die in the same house, and that's your entire life is in one village kind of thing.
It does make it real.
More,
yeah.
That these are real people we are portraying, and actually to be almost walking in their footsteps. And bringing their little stories to life, which is quite cool. As an actor and as the film itself, as a reenactor as well, it's quite living the past quite literally.
Like I said, it makes you feel the character, understand the character, and I think that just helps you as an actor, really, to embrace all that emotion, real emotion.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You can see where they've been lived and what they've done with their life, so you can play the character a bit better now. That you've seen what they've lived like.
He is the nasty. He is the betrayer of the peace. Every show's got to have its villain, and I am playing that villain. From what we know from the historical side of what we know of Dickie, he was not a man to cross blades with at all. So, yeah, and as the stories go, that Dickie's body was actually thrown into the bay here, and with the riptides, his body was actually discovered where now the fort stands, which is the island just outside there.
Birdswick, they call that.
Birdswick, thank you.
Birdswick Island.
Birdswick Island. So that's where his body was washed up. There are many theories on how he ended up there. Some say he fell in drunk, originally is one of them. Or some of them say he was done in, but who by, we don't know. Being a smuggler on the island, he was would have an enemy or two, at least. But you have to come to the show to find out what we think really happened to Dickie.
Our story ends where everyone's does, Molly's final resting place. No one can be 100% sure where she is laid to rest. Hartnell tells us. It was thought that Molly possessed some secret hoard, but none was discovered. And to appease the itching curiosity of the neighbours, the minister of the parish caused the body to be taken from the coffin, wherein it had been placed as it was found, and stripped to ascertain whether money or anything of value had been there secreted. But the search was a fruitless one. Out of a superstitious fear, Molly was reclothed, recoffined and consigned peaceably to a grave with unshorn rites in Brading churchyard, where no memorial points out the resting place of the last witch of the Isle of Wight. If folklore is to be believed, she was laid to rest in an unmarked grave next to little Jane Squibb.
Seems a little bit surreal knowing that she might actually be buried there. You know, I'm hoping that it is her grave because I'd like to mark it after, show our blessing to her, really.
Yeah. I just feel quite calm. It's a very nice, peaceful place, which is what she deserves, to be honest, after everything she went through in her life. It seems quite apt, but yeah, it's a very nice place. I know you don't like churchyards very much. This one's...
This feels like the right place for Molly to rest. Nature's embrace is evident in both the meticulously tended areas and the untamed wildlife reserves. Amidst the overgrown shrubs and crumbling memorials, the past yearns to be heard, to find solace in the attention of those who walk this hallowed ground. Each gravestone tells a tale of love, loss and resilience, etched by hands long gone, yet whose memories linger. But alas, no memorial for our Molly stands. But that does not mean we cannot memorialise. This musical is our love letter to Molly, Jane and their stories. In search of Molly Downer's grave we roam, through the dimmed corridors of Time's Grove. Her unmarked bed, a poignant void, deserved more than fate's callous envoy. Her heart, once vibrant, now lies in repose, amongst forgotten whispers and shadows throws. Through meandering paths of doubt and grief, she sought solace but found no relief. In the labyrinth of sorrows concealed, her worth obscured by wounds unhealed. In the twilight haze her essence remains, echoes of love shattered by refrains. Her destiny veiled, a mystery untold, a spirit deserving of love to behold. Amidst the weeping willows' mournful sigh, her memory lingers never to die. A heartache profound, an ache unspoken. Molly Downer's tale forever unbroken.